Dr. Temple Grandin once said, "The world needs every kind of mind." And she's living proof that brilliance comes in many forms. As an autistic scientist, she didn't just survive a world built for others, she reshaped it. Her story reminds us that thinking differently isn't a flaw, it's a superpower. But for many autistic women, the challenge isn't intelligence, it's the invisible maze of unspoken social rules. The ones no one ever explains, yet everyone seems to understand. Today we'll decode 10 of those unspoken cues, the kind that make people feel connected, confident, and seen. Because when you understand the rhythm of social interaction without losing your authenticity, you unlock not just communication, but connection. And when you connect, you no longer feel like you're watching life from the outside, you become part of its dance. One, the dance of dialogue. Most conversations move like music, a rhythm of give and take, pauses and flow. When we talk, we're not just exchanging words, we're tuning into timing. For neurotypical people, those rhythms come naturally. But for autistic women, it can feel like stepping into a dance without hearing the beat. You might speak a little too soon, and someone looks startled, or you wait too long, and the moment slips away. It's not lack of social skill, it's processing depth. Your brain is analyzing, understanding, creating meaning all before your mouth moves. So instead of self-criticism, use curiosity, notice subtle signals. A lifted eyebrow, a tiny inhale, a nod, that's the rhythm cue. Temple Grandin learned to observe like a scientist, and you can too. When you match timing with awareness instead of anxiety, connection starts to feel like music, and you finally find your own beat in the dance. 2, eye contact doesn't equal connection, seeing without staring. Many people think eye contact means respect, honesty, attention. But for some autistic women, it feels like too much, too bright, too intense, too close. You can connect deeply without forcing your eyes to lock. Look near someone's nose, forehead, or shoulder. Your presence will still be felt, because connection is energy, not direction. Dr. Grandin said, "I think in pictures, not words," and that's how she found her way to meaning, by focusing on essence, not gaze. So release the pressure to perform normal. When you're grounded and genuine, people feel you even if your eyes wander. Your authenticity is the real eye contact. It's not about how you look, it's about how you see, with empathy, with curiosity, with heart. 3, tone of voice and subtext, hearing what's not said. Words are only half the story. The rest hides in tone. The rise, the fall, the rhythm between syllables. Someone says, "Oh, great," with an eye roll. That's not excitement, it's frustration in disguise. For literal thinkers, that can be a minefield, but here's your advantage. You can learn patterns. Notice if the tone matches the face. If not, there's subtext. And instead of guessing, you can clarify. "Oh, wait, did you mean that literally or sarcastically?" That's not awkward, that's emotionally intelligent. You're showing interest, not confusion. The goal isn't to become a mind reader, it's to communicate consciously. Because when you listen for emotion, not just language, you stop hearing noise and start hearing people. 4, personal space and boundaries, invisible bubbles. Every person has an invisible bubble, their comfort zone. Too close feels invasive, too far feels distant. Usually an arm's length is the sweet spot for casual conversation, closer for friends, farther for strangers. But for many autistic women, sensing those boundaries can feel like trying to see air. If someone steps back, it's not rejection, it's self-regulation. When you notice and mirror that movement, you communicate respect. Dr. Grandin said, "Social rules are like the rules of traffic. Once you learn them, you move freely, safely, confidently, gracefully. You don't need to change who you are, just learn the signs." Because knowing where someone's bubble ends isn't a limitation, it's how connection breathes. 5, the hidden meaning of facial expressions, the language of faces. A face can whisper 1,000 feelings before a single word is spoken. A soft smile can open a door, a tight jaw can close one. For autistic women, these quick flashes, which we call micro-expressions, can feel impossible to decode. But emotion can be learned like any other pattern. A frown, usually confusion or concern. Raised eyebrows, surprise or interest. You don't have to guess, you can observe. And if something feels off, it's okay to ask, "Did I say something wrong, or are you okay?" That's not awkward, that's caring. Dr. Grandin once said she used logic to interpret emotion, not instinct, and it worked. Because connection isn't about reading faces perfectly. It's about reading hearts sincerely. 6, the "how are you" I script, the ritual of words. How are you? Sounds like a question, but most of the time it's a ritual. It means I acknowledge you. And the expected response, good, how are you, is like passing a social handshake. For autistic women who value honesty, that can feel fake. But it's not deception, it's social rhythm. Think of it like pressing play on connection. You're saying, I see you, not let's unpack my emotions. Save your real feelings for safe spaces, the people who truly want to know. When you learn these small scripts, life flows smoother, not because you're masking, but because you're mastering context. And context builds confidence, the foundation of social ease. 7. Small talk isn't small, the bridge to belonging. For deep thinkers, small talk can feel pointless. Why talk about weather when galaxies exist? But small talk isn't shallow, it's the on-ramp to real connection. It's how people test emotional safety before they trust you with truth. A simple, how's your day going, or I love your jacket builds comfort, tiny threads that weave belonging. Temple Grandin practiced social scripts until they became second nature. You can too. Start with curiosity, not pressure. You don't have to master the art of chit-chat, just the art of being interested. Because small talk is how people say, I'm open to knowing you. And that's never small. 8. Emotional reciprocity, the balance of connection. Reciprocity is the heartbeat of relationships. Give and take, share and respond. When someone shares joy, share in it. That's amazing. When they share pain, meet them softly. That sounds really tough. You don't have to feel what they feel. You just need to acknowledge it. That's empathy in action. Some people learn this instinctively, others through observation and practice. Both ways are valid. Emotional reciprocity isn't about mirroring emotion. It's about honoring it. And when you do, people feel seen. You're not pretending. You're communicating fluently in the language of compassion. And that's emotional intelligence at its finest. 9. Humor and social context, laughing in translation. Humor, the final frontier of social nuance. It's where words twist, meanings flip, and timing rules. Sarcasm, irony, inside jokes, they all rely on shared context. If it confuses you, that's okay. It's designed to. So instead of forcing laughter, be real. I'm not sure I got that one. Tell me what's funny about it. That honesty often sparks deeper connection. And remember, your humor counts too. Your wit, wordplay, pattern-based jokes, or clever analogies, they bring fresh air into the room. Dr. Grandin's humor came from logic, proof that laughter doesn't have to fit one mold. Different minds bring different smiles, and that's what keeps the world interesting. 10. The gift of neurodiversity. Every kind of mind matters. Dr. Temple Grandin's message echoes louder than ever. The world needs all kinds of minds. Some think in words, some in pictures, some in patterns. And that diversity is the engine of progress. If social cues feel confusing, it's not because you're broken. It's because your brain is wired for depth, not surface. You see what others miss. You connect dots others can't even see. Your brilliance might not fit the mold, but it can build a new one. The goal isn't to blend in, it's to belong while being you. Because when we honor every kind of mind, we don't just include, we evolve. If social rules have ever made you feel alien or inadequate, remember this. Even Temple Grandin once said she felt like an anthropologist on Mars. And yet, by being herself, she changed the world. You don't need to erase your difference to make a difference. Observe, learn, adapt. Yes, but never abandon who you are. Because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs your original. Your mind, your story, your spark, they matter. So keep learning the dance of connection, but do it your way, in your rhythm, your light. I'm Nori, and my AI twin Nora helps me turn reflection into restoration. If this message spoke to your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Because when we celebrate every kind of mind, we make the world safer, wiser, and more beautifully human.